just prior to my joining in 72, if you'd been married in the New South Wales Police, if you got married, then you left. That was just the way it was. That whilst I was there, two of the senior women, as you heard, I was 19, but two of the women who were 30, who I thought were really old, became pregnant, sort of obviously somewhat unexpectedly. And they said that they weren't going to finish, that they in fact were entitled to maternity leave and that the government needed to provide it. And they simply said, we're going to have our babies and we're coming back and you need to sort it out. And so maternity leave came into place. It wasn't existent in those days either. And in terms of what women did in the police at that stage, it was really around taking sexual assault statements or dealing with young girls who were what we call neglected and exposed to moral danger, or we lectured kids, or we did traffic duty. And I remember at school I used to stand outside in Sydney and at the Ravenswood on the Pacific Highway, and 6 girls used to cross the road. I used to look forward to those 6 girls because that's all that happened. And it was one of those eras and one of those times. And I guess also I thought about this today, that one of the things that women didn't do was manage men in that era either, in terms of the police. The women managed each other and the men managed each other. And there were occasionally sort of crossovers, but not very often. And so that's the era that I come from. And it was an era that was the way things were. And I suppose I learned a few lessons during that time. We used to have a group of senior women, and I used to call them the Dragons. And they lived in the Dragon Cave, obviously. And I used to hate to go oversee them because I knew that they were going to make it difficult for me, and they often did. And I used to think to myself, why are they making it so hard for people who, like me, who just wanted to actually get on and be able to do the job that women I knew were capable of? And so we didn't, it took me a while, and I suppose over time it took me a time to understand them, that they were of their time. They were of their time, and we all are. And the sense of sometimes looking at other women and saying, why are they not supporting me, is sometimes about the time they're in. See, those women had worked really hard. They'd forged their own path, they'd achieved senior roles, but they believed that was it. And I suppose someone like me as a young police officer coming along thinking that wasn't it, that there was far more possible from us. And I think that's the sort of piece that one of the lessons I learned. And one particularly was, you don't have to tread on the past to get to the future.